Professional esports scenes are the heart and soul of a true competitive video game. Valorant has not been out long, but that hasn't stopped the rise of certain players to stardom. Some players in Valorant esports are completely new to competitive FPS, and some are looking for a second chance at life, trying to establish new careers in the infancy stages of a brand new FPS title. Today, we're going to be breaking down two exceptional players fighting for the #1 spot of the best FPS player on Valorant at the moment. That's right, we're breaking down the king of aces, Tenz, and the man that doesn't miss, Wardell. What's going on, ProGuides family? It's your host, Sergeant Frost, and today we're going to be doing a deep dive into two MVP caliber players today. But before we move on, you guys know what time it is. It's time for our question of the day. Today's question is, who would you like to see us cover in the next episode of this series? I know the Sentinels boys are white hot right now after dominating recent tournaments, or maybe we should go across the pond and see the best of what Europe has to offer. Let us know in the comment section down below. There's one more thing we need to cover before we begin this video. We will be evaluating these pros in 5 different categories. Those categories are mechanics, solo play, team play, game sense, and carry potential. In each category, we will be giving each pro a rank out of 10, and at the end, we will add up their scores to see who we think comes out on top. Alright, let's begin this matchup discussing mechanics. First off, as a disclaimer, we will be taking a look at aim as arguably the most important aspect of basic mechanics in Valorant, but we will also be taking a look at movement and other mechanical skills as well for a broader comparison. First up on the list is Wardell. There's a reason he titles his streams "I don't miss" in all caps, and he certainly lives up to his motto. Wardell is a freak of nature when it comes to aiming. There are many dedicated AWPers in Valorant, but none have reached the level of dominance that Wardell has. Wardell's main role on TSM is main AWPer, so we must disclaim that when we judge his mechanics, we will be mostly referring to his AWPing abilities, as that is the weapon he will be using most of the time in TSM's matches. It is said that AWPing at the highest levels of competitive play is an art, and if that's true, then Wardell is Picasso. Wardell's AWPing skills have been refined over the years from his past experience as a Tier 2 CSGO semi-pro. This constant practice and hard work he has put into his AWPing ability has shaped him into the player that he is today, and he is only getting better with time. One aspect of his aim we need to point out is his robotic ability to flick to a target anywhere on his screen. A few key components of Wardell's aggressive AWPing playstyle is how he sets up his engagements, how he moves his character while scoped in, and how accurate his flicks can be. If you've watched Wardell play, you know how easy he makes quickscoping look in his games. He's able to do this because he has control over his player movements and crosshair. Even when he charges headfirst at an enemy with Jet, his quick reflexes allow him to stop on a dime and flick his crosshair onto the head of the nearest enemy. His control over his elite movements and inhuman ability to use the AWP as a devastating aggressive weapon has cemented him as one of the top AWPers in all of competitive Valorant. For this mechanical dominance he has established so far in Valorant, we have to give him a 9 out of 10 in the mechanics department. Tenz, on the other hand, has a similar but different playstyle than Wardell. Tenz is always leading the charge for his team, trying to open up sites with picks and disrespecting enemy players with insane 180-degree flicks. He could not earn the reputation of being an in-game Terminator without the help of some of the cleanest aim and overall mechanics we've ever seen in a competitive FPS. Tenz's insane aim and control of his movements allow for his playstyle to be as diverse as possible. He can fly through the air with Jet and get an ace with her knives. He can charge into a site with Reyna and pick up multi-kills using her ult. He can use Raze's blast packs and an ultimate to clear out a site in seconds. There's nothing Tenz can't do if the situation calls for it in game, and his main superpowers are fueled by his precise aim. Tenz's aim allows him to use any gun in the game with no difficulty. He can get up close and blow you away with the shotgun, he can quickscope you from across the map with the sniper, and he can manage his recoil with his rifles and pick up aces consistently when he needs to. One aspect of his aim that we need to showcase is his ability to smoothly track targets at any range. Tenz has a moderate to high EDPI in game, which allows him to not only have accurate flicks, but also allows him to have enough control over his crosshair to have near perfect tracking. When you look at his ability to use any weapon in the game with extreme proficiency, and his ability to pilot multiple agents and pop off in matches, it's no doubt that Tenz's elite mechanics transcends his aim and shows how naturally gifted he is at playing this game. And for that alone, we have to give him a 9 out of 10 in this category. If you want more help learning about other aspects of how to improve your game in Valorant, make sure to check out ProGuides.com. You can quickly upload your gameplay VODs on our website, and we have coaches online 24/7 who will quickly get back to you and help you on your journey towards improving in Valorant. ProGuides.com will teach you the necessary skills to rank up faster, enjoy the game more, and receive premium help from our online coaches. You can schedule sessions online whenever you need it according to your schedule. No more being stuck in your elo. Head over to ProGuides.com to begin your journey to the rank of your dreams. Our next category for today is solo play. How well do these players perform when they are on their own in a solo queue environment? First up is Tenz. Tenz streams quite often if you follow him closely on Twitch. Many times you will find him on his main or ranking up his alt accounts by himself all the way to Radiant. He is a player that is more than capable of hard carrying a team in solo queue. Every game he plays, he seems to rack up montage clips of him acing teams with ease. One of the main reasons for his solo queue success are the agents he uses to carry with. When Tenz streams, he specializes in playing entry frag and high fragging power agents. Mastering these agents such as Reyna, Jet, and Raze allow him to dominate his solo queue games and rank up all of his accounts in little to no time. He also isn't afraid to play multiple roles when ranking up his accounts as well. Some games you'll find him dropping 40 bombs on Jett, and some matches you'll see him take over a game through abusing utility on Viper. The flexibility of his playstyle goes past his ability to carry games in solo queue and appears in his pro play as well. Because of his solo queue dominance, we have to give Tenz a 9 out of 10 for solo play. Wardell is someone who shows consistency in the way he plays. If you tune into his stream, you'll find him farming clips of his Jett and his AWP dismantling teams from the first round until the last one. His solo play is exceptional to say the least. The man has at least 5 accounts he has gotten into Radiant by solo queue Jett only. His success in solo queue mainly stems from his use of his famous AWP. With little to no stakes when he plays in ranked, you'll find him using his AWP like it's an automatic rifle, and he uses this aggressive AWP playstyle to run up his frag count in game and go on win streaks that most players would be jealous of. Wardell's playstyle though comes at a cost. Many times in higher ranks such as Radiant and Immortal 3, you'll see him struggling to keep his dominant AWPing playstyle while playing alone. Against the best players on the server and many who know him personally, opponents will come prepared to deal with his infamous AWP. There are many clips you'll find on the internet of players on the enemy team stream sniping to frag him a lot, and many times you'll find clips of players specifically hunting him down, pre-firing where he's going to be, in an attempt to shut him down and get him riled up on his stream. While he is a great player when playing by himself, he's not invincible and will be subject to tilt when on stream from time to time. And for that, we're going to give him an 8 out of 10 on the solo play category. For our third category of today, we're going to be looking at team play. For this, we will be looking at how these players perform in a coordinated professional play environment. To disclaim beforehand, we will mostly be focusing on both players' performances in the most recent Valorant professional tournaments. Starting off with Tenz, we've all seen this man turn into a walking highlight reel in professional tournaments. Even against the best players in the world, Tenz never lets his team hold him back and always comes up clutch and finds ways to win games for his team. If you watch Cloud9 play in the Ignition Series tournaments this summer, it's no secret that the team is a little weak on the player performance side outside of Tenz and Mitch. This has led to them losing games and series against really good teams and some teams that they should have steamrolled. Tenz, with the help of his teammates role-playing in game, is without a doubt the star of this team and the main carry that will always be the reason why they win games. Despite having teammates that sometimes have lackluster performances, Tenz thrives on his main fragging agents Jett, Reyna, and Raze, and he does everything humanly possible to carry his team across the finish line. Despite his team's individual shortcomings, this should not overshadow the impact Tenz has had on this roster and his achievements he has accomplished. He is at the top of the leaderboards amongst international professional players for insane personal stats in game, such as kill-death ratio, agent win rate, first blood percentage, and so on. When there's a will, there's a way, and there is no better saying that can describe the way Tenz plays in a team environment. For this, we have no choice but to award Tenz with a 10 out of 10 for team play. Wardell is with no doubt one of the best players on his all-star TSM roster. Even though he might not be the in-game leader, he still fills a niche role of being the main AWPer and finding picks for his team. Wardell's AWP is what will determine if TSM will win or lose a match in game sometimes. If his AWP is on point that day, no team, including their rival Sentinels, will be able to touch them. But sometimes we see against coordinated and well-prepared teams, Wardell can falter. When an opposing team crafts a specific team comp and has a plan to deal with his AWP, we have seen his team lose some cringeworthy matches in embarrassing fashion. If you saw TSM lose to Dignitas in the recent Pop Flash tournament, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Despite TSM having an all-or-nothing playstyle that relies on Wardell to pop off in game, the achievements of what Wardell has done for TSM should not be diminished and should definitely be recognized as not only one of the best AWPers in North America, but also one of the best overall players in the world. And for this, we have to give Wardell an 8 out of 10 for team play. While Tenz is a generational player, he needs elite game sense to pull off the 500 IQ plays he does in game. He arguably has a sixth sense with how smart he is when attacking and defending in game. I have never seen a player abuse movement mechanics, utility, and positioning to outplay multiple people on a site, but Tenz does this on the daily. One aspect that shows Tenz's game sense is on another level is how he uses utility to mask his movements and catch enemies by surprise. Tenz is infamous for jet dashing into his own smokes and jumping out of them and using Jett's ult to kill 3 people on a site in an instant. He will run in behind his own Reyna flash and swing the corner before it can even deploy and pick up a triple kill. He will raise blast pack boost himself through a door and take out multiple people with the shotgun before they can even turn around. Tenz has godlike game sense that allows him to not only outsmart his opponents, but outright abuse them with no hope of trying to counter his actions. Tenz, while having the game sense of a veteran FPS player, can sometimes get a little ahead of himself in pro matches when he starts to get a little predictable. Smart pro teams will start to stack sites and set up ways to contain him as best as possible. But outside of the few hiccups he sometimes has in games, Tenz's game sense paired with his aim makes him arguably the best player in North America, and for that we have to give him a 9 out of 10 in the game sense category. Wardell is a smart player, and he needs to be in order to dominate people with his AWP in every game he plays in. While he isn't the main IGL for his team, he has more than enough game sense to allow him to be in complete control of everything that goes on around him in game. Wardell has great game sense through the lens of being a mainly AWPing player. He can predict where people will be and wallbang them with his sniper. He can predict rotates, allowing him to show up before the enemy team does, and shuts down pushes with a well-timed collateral. Wardell has been playing FPS games competitively for years now, and he has had enough experience in the competitive scene to separate him from his peers in terms of using game sense to win matches outright. Wardell's game sense can be flawed, as his aggressive play allows for him to get himself in trouble sometimes and put him in positions he doesn't want to be in. And we have seen in TSM's pro matches that his confidence and outright aggression can cost him. But make no mistake, he is certainly one of the smartest AWPers out there, and his unparalleled game sense in regards to map movements and positioning makes him near unstoppable when playing on defense. And for this, we have to give him an 8 out of 10 for the game sense category. For our final category, we'll be taking a look into each player's carry potential in game. After praising both Tenz for a good portion of this video, there isn't much more I can say regarding how dominant he is. We are witnessing a generational talent just starting to come into his peak at the age of 19. Not only is this a remarkable feat in and of itself, it's amazing to think about considering Valorant has only been out for a few months, and there are still many tournaments and matches to be had in the future. Tenz's main strength as a player is how flexible he is when he plays the game. With C9 having weaker individual players, he's more than capable of picking up the Slack Force team and using any weapon necessary to hard carry his team to a win. One game he will main the AWP, another game he'll be a rifler, and another game he'll be flying around the map with Jet using a judge. You never know what Tenz will do next to make sure Cloud9 walks away with the win that day. And for that fact alone, we have to give him a 10 out of 10 for carry potential. Wardell, on the contrary, is no doubt an exceptional player, and if we want to break him down clip for clip, he makes a strong case for being the best dedicated AWP player in the world right now. Not many people can be the backbone of a professional team while not being the IGL and still carry a squad as hard as Wardell can. While he does have some down moments in games, he should not be overlooked as a top 5 player in the North American region along with Tenz. And we will be doing you a disservice if we only pointed out what he couldn't do for his team instead of what he can do for his team. Because of this, Wardell is the heart and soul of the TSM roster, and without them, they would no doubt be in the position they are right now as a top 3 team in North America at the moment. And because of this, we have to give him a 9 out of 10 for carry potential. Well guys, that is all we have for you today. At the end of it, we have Wardell with a total of 42 out of 50 points, and we have Tenz with 47 out of 50 points as well. In the end, Tenz just managed to edge out his competition, but both players are no doubt world class, and they both deserve their praise and respect as well. Well everyone, that is all we have for our face-off between Tenz and Wardell today. If you liked the video, then be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the content. We upload new videos just like this one every single day, and the best way to stay notified is by ringing that notification bell. Don't forget to check out ProGuides.com to gain access to some truly amazing coaching. Remember to stay safe out there, and we will see you guys again very soon.